Today we will speak about in details about each of the three MVP types available in Sitecore. So let's get started. As you guys know, the MVP applications are gonna open in November. Sitecore opens the MVP applications. So we have the whole month of November until the last minute to deliver something. But of course, we're not just gonna wait until the last minute, but also we don't need. It's not a race, right? You don't have to. You have no benefit by delivering earlier, unless you want. So let's start to speak about the technology MVP, which is the one that is the more popular one, I guess. And not just inside our company, but also on Sitecore itself. They provide, they have much more technology MVPs than everything else. So let's speak about technology MVP. And here we have exactly the words from Sitecore, okay? Which is an individual with a seasoned technical experience who actively participates online, offline, communities to share their knowledge and expertise with developers, marketers, strategists, partners, and customers. So they're basically saying someone who is good in, technically speaking, good in our tools, Sitecore, and exercises that in offline and online community channels, and can demonstrate that with their partners, their developer marketers, strategists, partners, customers, and other peers, right? Cool. So let's go a little deeper on what the qualities considered by Sitecore for this. This is what Sitecore is doing. Later, we will see there's a whole complete mapping of the opportunities, but this is the words from Sitecore. They're basically looking for that original quality content producer. You produce blog posts, podcasts, videos, PDFs, white papers, whatever is content. Good quality means it's useful, it's unique, it has something to tell more than what is already available on Google. So every time you produce original quality means you are telling something important, something that you could not find on Google. Still, it's not available. Even if it's something really basic, it doesn't matter. But you have to tell at least the story and give something else. Otherwise, you're just repeating what is already available in the community. Well, you participate in the forums, you active in a Slack channel, you are involved in Stack Exchange, you contribute to open source modules, you are a speaker, right, on user groups, symposiums, you participate in conversations in social media, you provide feedbacks to the product. Cool. Maybe you are a little scared right now. Do you have to do all that? No, no, it's never like that. Nobody does everything, okay? Basically, what we have to do, guys, is to understand the options available, and then you will try to cherry pick from the options available, those that you think you can contribute, those that you think you like to contribute. Because if you don't love and don't feel passion with that thing, you cannot contribute, right? It will be very hard for you to take your off-hour work hours and get that done. So take something you like to do, whatever it is, and you don't have to do everything. That's the biggest message for me. And also, the quality is considered by someone who hires an MVP, a technology MVP. Basically, they are everywhere in the community. Basically, the community contributions are very, very important to this type. Quality blogger, exceptional presenter, enthusiastic user groups. You can, for instance, very easily start a user group at your city or state or country if you want, if it's not there still, or you can contribute with the existing things, right? You are a contributor in a community. Basically, that's the biggest thing in the technical side, and very important. I like to bring this. You don't have to be like a geek, you know. You don't have to be a programmer. You don't have to know all patterns by heart. You don't have to be like that. You can contribute with technical things in multiple ways, and some of these ways are very basic. You don't need to be very like deep down on the tool to contribute. Ambassador MVP. So that's the second. This is what Sitecore describes: an individual with solid knowledge of the latest offerings. Solid knowledge of the latest offerings, who provide value for Sitecore by influencing partners. So you are, giving advice and influencing partners, the industry, the customers, the decision makers, and providing feedbacks to the Sitecore on the product via help desk and other channels, supply references and case studies. Okay, so let me give you a few keywords here, right? Solid knowledge of the latest offerings. What does that mean? Probably you have to know how to sell or explain for someone that is not technical the new offerings from Sitecore. What is the whole thing about that, right? And also influencing partners, influencing decision takers, generating business. That's important as well. So Sitecore considers that a person like that is, those qualities. The latest offerings from Sitecore. You are internal or external ambassador of Sitecore. Maybe you know something very well and you want to do a webinar internally or externally. You can do that. Provide feedbacks to Sitecore. Supply references and case studies. Drive business to Sitecore. So let me stick here to drive business to Sitecore. Here, for instance, someone in the sales side, as a salesperson, you explore a new opportunity. By doing this, you are already investing in your ambassador MVP. Okay, so someone doing that will be investing. You participate in the Sitecore Advisory Council. So qualities by the employer. Again, when an employer hires someone, ambassador and MVP, he is looking for someone who knows the latest offerings from Sitecore, works for partners and customers to closely with Sitecore, because Sitecore and partners, right, working in this process of coexisting and doing favors to each other and selling together and etc., participating in these opportunities. And those opportunities is out there even for architects, tech leads of Sitecore, because if you are in the middle of this, sometimes Sitecore will get in touch with you, asking you for help, for instance, for advice on how is the state, what is the current Sitecore version of this client, and etc., things like that. So basically, an ambassador MVP, guys, are an evangelist business developer. And finally, strategy MVP. A strategy MVP, an individual, who basically two things. Understands marketing, how to drive and extract from Sitecore the marketing tools from Sitecore, the best of that, right? The best of personalization, the best of mail campaign, the best of automation, marketing automation, and the best of A/B tests, the best of all tools in Sitecore. But also has a lot of understanding about the Sitecore Experience Cloud, okay? Previously, we used to have a cloud option a cloud MVP, but now the cloud has been merged to the strategy. So basically, qualities consider you have experience with the marketing, you are experienced with cloud, you have thought leadership on digital experience, including strategies, including like how to use the tools inside core, like I mentioned, content production for better, like content itself, right? To feel content editors itself, user experience and things like that, analytics. So you provide back feedbacks to Sitecore, and even so Altura from time to time we got almost every year a few awards from Sitecore from good experience. Things that we build for clients that was successful. If we got one prize like that in your project, that would be amazing, because you can definitely use that to apply as a strategy MVP. And that's nothing new. Again, just repetition, cloud, marketing, UX, communication. Basically, strategy MVP folks are there to be covering marketing, cloud, and content, right? Side of Sitecore. Right. Those three things are the three slides are basically the most important part of this presentation. What I have now, folks, we don't need to go through in details right now. We will be going later in the future. But I just want to tell you that we have already mapped a lot of the opportunities available for us as developers, as architects, and other roles to do things and use that thing to count for our MVPs, okay? So I will not retain too much of your attention of this, but I'll just mention a few. We have, for instance, in the top, the yellow bar boxes, you see creating modules, the most obvious ones, right? Your own modules, but also being contributing with third-party modules, and especially if that's an important module, right? You can invest into intellectual property, building demos, and building products, right? Like we mentioned already, the blue part here, you see the original quality content, and as we spoke, blogging, video producing, podcasts, and other things, webinars, and etc. In yellow, you see a few three bullets here. Support tickets. You might think this is incredible, but yes, support tickets can become important for your MVP. We will get there later. I will not go into details for that, but business development as well, partner interactions with Sitecore, like I mentioned, things that we do as a partner with Sitecore and with the client. The second slide here, we have basically the communication leg, communication and support, where summarizing, we can be presenters, presenting things, we can be organizing events, we can also attend to events and participate into third-party events. Social media, participating in Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and all the channels will be important. The community forum, responding, asking, responding, Stack Exchange, Sitecore Slack. If you don't know any of these, guys, and I will be expanding each of these bullets with more information, and later in other sessions we will do that as well. And very linked to the communication support, of course, communication support linked to events. Multiple things linked to events. So you can present in user groups, symposiums, subcons, hackathons. Hackathon will be participating, right, in the hackathon. It will be awesome if we can have like multiple teams in the next hackathon. I'm not even talking about winning the hackathon, but just being there, our names will be already there as well, which will be good for us. Webinars, presenting webinars, and participating on those events from Sitecore, like the global kickoff, the roadshow.